Welcome to the main news tonight, the 28th of November 2025. To present the main news, my name is Trace Mwansa. A look at the top stories making headlines. OASIS Forum meets President HH, insists Bill 7 withdrawn. TASILA LUNGU loses CHAWAMA parliamentary seat. UPND expels over 150 youths over thuggery and misconduct, and 4 arrested in connection with gruesome KALOMO murder. And now the news in detail. The OASIS Forum has maintained its position that Bill 7 should be completely withdrawn from the National Assembly, arguing that several clauses in the proposed amendments remain unsettling. Forum chairperson Beauty Katebe says the group still has serious reservations about the bill, despite the government initiating a fresh amendment process. Ms. Katebe made the remarks when the forum met President Hakainde Hichilema at State House on Friday afternoon, following the president's call for engaging rather than protests. The forum had earlier planned to march to State House to present their concerns over Bill 7.
Go to the streets. I will not say a lot of things here, Mr. President, but I will indicate that we are here to discuss the Constitution amendment, and we have expectations. Our expectations, Mr. President, are that, one, we expect that Bill 7 is completely withdrawn from the floor of the House, and 2, we expect a fresh process supported by legal safeguards to be commenced, and thirdly, we expect that such new process be inclusive and not rushed, and it should be holistic. And when we talk about it being holistic, Mr. President, like I said earlier, we don't expect you not to know that what is important mainly here in Zambia is to open up the Bill of Rights, because that is where me and the next person are sitting. I think we will appreciate if we go by that process. I thank you.
CHAWAMA constituency is aided for a by-election after Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, this morning declared the parliamentary seat vacant, bringing an end to months of uncertainty surrounding MP TASILA LUNGU's prolonged absence. The Speaker has directed the Electoral Commission of Zambia to immediately commence a preparation for a by-election after members of Parliament voted in favor of the motion. The Speaker has declared the Electoral Commission of Zambia immediately commence operations by by-elections after members of Parliament voted in of the motion. Ms. Muti's latest decision follows an earlier ruling delivered on 25th July 2025, directing Ms. Lungu to present herself before the National Assembly within 14 days after the burial of her late father, former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Within 14 days after the opening of the 5th session of the 18th National Assembly. Her ruling follows a point of order raised by Zambezi East Member of Parliament, Brian Kambita, who questioned the prolonged absence of Ms. Lungu both in Parliament and her constituency. In arriving at her ruling, Ms. Muti cited Article 78 of 8 of the Constitution, which outlines the conditions under which a parliamentary seat is deemed vacant.
The Lungu MP has, to date, not presented herself to the House. At this juncture, it is important to note that the point of order by Mr. B. Kambita MP raised the issue of vacation of a seat by a member of Parliament. I come back to this issue later. The House may wish to know that on 24th September 2025, my office received a letter from Ms. T. Lungu MP. In that letter, Ms. T. Lungu MP acknowledged the directives issued in my ruling of 25th July 2025 aforesaid. She, however, stated that her absence from the House was not out of disregard of my office or her duties as Member of Parliament, but was due to legal matters related to the burial of her late father. She further indicated that she hoped the legal process relating to the burial of her late father would be expedited so that she could resume her parliamentary duties. In that regard, Ms. T. Lungu MP requested that her leave of absence be extended until the conclusion of the court matter. Alternatively, she requested that she be permitted to attend the sittings of the House virtually. Honorable members, I refer the matter to the Committee on Privileges and Absences for the committee to inquire into the application by Ms. T. Lungu MP and to make appropriate recommendations to the Assembly MP to present herself and to attend the business of the House within 14 days of the opening of the 5th session of the 13th National Assembly. To date, this directive has not been adhered to. For this reason, and as per precedent set in the J.E. Banda case, Ms. T. Lungu MP is in breach of the prescribed code of conduct, being Standing Order 215 and 243 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024. In view of the foregoing, I'll put the question for the resolution of the House to invoke Article 72(8) of the Constitution. I now put the question. The question is that my office should invoke Article 72(8) of the Constitution of Zambia Act, Chapter 1 of the Laws of Zambia, by informing the Electoral Commission of Zambia of the occurrence of a vacancy in the CHAWAMA parliamentary seat. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. No. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative.
And now, former Chairman Member of Parliament, TASILA Lungu, has taken to her official Facebook page to thank our constituents for their support following the declaration of a parliamentary seat as vacant. In a statement message, Ms. Lungu explains that she made every effort to represent the community, including attending parliamentary session virtually during the ongoing mourning period following the death of her father, former President Edgar Lungu. She highlighted ongoing community projects, including over 12 kilometers of paved roads, school infrastructure, mother and child shelters, and funeral support services, noting that her team continues to serve residents despite personal challenges. Ms. Lungu reassured the Chama constituency member, the Chama community of a commitment to unity and progress, recalling how they overcame a challenging election petition in 2021 and urged residents to remain hopeful. Meanwhile, Patriotic Front President aspirant Brian Mundwile has cautioned that declaring Chawama seat vacant will place an unnecessary financial burden on the country. Mr. Mundwile urged that holding a by-election at this stage is impractical, noting that whoever is elected will serve only a brief period before Parliament is dissolved ahead of the 2026 general elections.
On behalf of the poor people in line with that decision, Parliament will adjourn sometime in December. The seat is declared vacant. Let's say the by-election is in February. Whichever MP will be elected will sit in Parliament not even for a month. But this decision will not cost this country less than 30 million kwacha. Today, the farmers are still not paying. You see, the reckless decisions our leaders continue to make under the supervision of President Hakainde. We have always said, as PF, as a pro-poor party, our decisions are based on the circumstances surrounding Nakulu Mutinda Pamagasa. We must think What can 30 million kwacha do for the poor women in these rural areas? If only our government can make decisions based on the poor people, they will certainly not make a reckless decision like that. The Speaker knows that this government has no money. This government is failing to pay farmers. This government is failing to put medicines in hospitals. How does she make such a reckless decision? Herself, her ruling on the floor of the House was such that TASILA LUNGU is mourning her late dad, and that 2 weeks after burial, she should return to Parliament. We have not yet buried, and we have not yet buried because President Hakainde Hichilema and his government decided to go to court. So what kind of recklessness is this? It's very unfortunate. Zambians, open your eyes. This government simply does not care for the poor. They are ready to spend that money on the by-election, but not ready to pay our farmers. My colleagues and I will stand very firm and fight for the plight of the poor. Thank you.
Police in Southern Province have apprehended 4 men linked to the gruesome murder of a 22-year-old woman in Kalomo earlier this year. Provincial Commanding Officer Mono Namalongo confirmed the arrests, identifying the suspect as the deceased former boyfriend Mazuba Mono, along with Lawrence Mihela, Obet Halumba, and Luka Lunda. Mr. Namalonga disclosed that the victim, who died in January, was found with her eyes and private parts removed, circumstances that prompted an intensive investigation leading to the latest breakthrough. Road users in Mazabuka have expressed excitement over the ongoing construction of township roads, describing the development as long overdue. In Kaonga Township, works on a 13-kilometer stretch are progressing, and residents said the project will greatly ease movements and improve the area's outlook. The Ministry of Mine and Mineral Development has suspended operations at Mukawambo Copper Mine in Mwense District after the collapse of a tailing dam earlier this week, citing serious breaches of safety and environmental standards. Preliminary findings from the Mine Safety Department reveals that the mine ignored a compliance order issued in March and proceeded with an approved dam design, leading to the failure attributed to substandard engineering. The ministry has warned that most tailing dams disasters stem from poor designs, weak construction, and unsafe operational practices, and has reminded all mining firms to urgently implement required safety and compliance measures in line with the national regulations.
The Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development has suspended all operations at Mukawambo Copper Mine following the collapse of its tailings dam earlier this week. Our first priority is the safety of our people and the protection of our environment. Officers from Mine Safety Department were immediately dispatched to the site, and their preliminary findings are clear and deeply concerning. Mukawambo Copper Mine was operating in direct violation of a compliance order we issued in March this year. The design for this tailings dam was never approved by the ministry, and the construction was substandard. This failure to follow the law is what led to this preventable disaster. We would like to remind the entire mining sector that the ministry will not compromise on safety. Therefore, we have issued a directive to all mining companies in the country to implement immediate and necessary changes on how they design and build critical structures. Thank you.
The United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF has handed over medical equipment worth $290,000 to the Ministry of Health to strengthen maternal and newborn health services in Zambia. Speaking during the handover ceremony, Minister of Health Elijah Muchima, represented by Permanent Secretary Dr. Kennedy Lishimpe, said the equipment will significantly improve the country's capacity to provide quality care for newborns. Dr. Lishimpe noted the equipment will enhance neonatal intensive care and specialized newborn services and support growth monitoring and early childhood development across health facilities. He also revealed that Zambia has finalized its primary health care strategy 2025 to 2031, which includes implementing maternal and newborn health standards and strengthens community facility referral system through multi-sectoral approach. According to the minister, the Equal Chances for Human Development program is vital to these reforms as it collectively addresses health, nutrition, child protection, education, and social welfare. He has urged provincial and district health officers to ensure the immediate installation and proper use of the equipment received. UNICEF representative Dr. Saja Abdullahi stated that the donation items includes pulse oximeters, newborn CPAP machine, delivery tablets, and other critical equipment aiming to improve maternal and neonatal outcomes. The European Union's team leader of governance and social sectors in Zambia, Bogdan Stefanescu, reaffirmed the EU's commitment to supporting government's efforts to reduce maternal deaths in the country. In a related development in Zambian Red Cross Society has donated 12,000 cholera kits valued at 2.9 million kwacha to the Ministry of Health. Social Board Chairperson Dr. Mzala Kapina says the donation will help mitigate cholera outbreaks and strengthens the country's capacity to respond to cases effectively. The Ministry of Energy, Makozo Chikote, has highlighted government's efforts to empower journalists and media personnel through transparency, decentralization, and digital connectivity. Speaking during the CC Media Awards, Mr. Chikote says this aims to promote factual and balanced reporting, particularly in critical sectors like energy, to build public trust and support national development. He also emphasized the importance of accurate reporting in the health sector, especially during critical times, stating that accurate information helps the public make informed decisions and support the nation's transformation agenda. Mr. Chikote further says the impact of accurate reporting brings positive change on investor confidence and Zambia's energy sector growth. The minister also disclosed that government's commitment to creating a favorable business environment combined with the media accurate reporting is yielding results, with investors showing increased interest in Zambia's energy sector. And Ministry of Information and Media Acting Permanent Secretary Bernard Domingo highlighted the critical role of media in shaping Zambia's energy sector and national development. He further emphasized the importance of balanced reporting to avoid discouraging private sector investment in Zambia, as a negative reporting can hinder investor confidence and participation. Meanwhile, Copperbelt Energy Corporation CC Chief Executive Officer Owen Silavwe says the media plays a crucial role in driving knowledge, awareness, and transformation in society.
I've told my team to make sure that all the pipeline projects that we are doing to address the power deficit in the country are availed to you, so that you are able to communicate to people and they understand that this is what we are doing, and this is the time frame, and this is the kind of power we are bringing on board, both public and private, what we are doing. I want you to have it so that as we start seeing the fruits, as we see the positives, nobody will change the information because elections are in August. These are the planned projects, commitment we are doing to provide, to answer to the power deficit that we are facing. As the essential role like I've said, informing, educating, entertaining, and mostly importantly, ensuring that the public, you can underline that. I know you are very good at reporting. You can underline what I'm about to say. Okay? Entertaining and importantly, ensuring that the public receives accurate and credible information about Zambia's energy sector and the economy. To the very important in the energy sector as we go through this critical and difficult time. Remember, a well-informed transformation in line with the vision of our President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. No,
the media plays in shaping the informed citizens, strengthening transparency, and indeed promoting development across our.
The Joint Technical Working Committee of Transport Sector Union has highlighted the importance of collaboration between the Drivers Union, the Technical Working Committee, and the Presidential Advisory Committee to establish the Drivers Desk. Speaking at the media briefing on Friday in Lusaka, United Truck Drivers and Allied Union Workers of Zambia, President Givas Monga says the partnership aims to gather data and formulate strategies, ensure efficient and inclusive decision-making, and mobilize resources and support for Zambian drivers. According to Mr. Monga, the goal is to align efforts and achieve the best results for the sector and drivers leverage the president's political capacity. He has further recognized President Hakainde Hichilema's efforts to address drivers' concern. Mr. Monga also discussed the impact of the Drivers' Desk on Zambia's transport sector or the benefits for drivers and the economy.
We really appreciate the formation of the creation of a driver's desk at State House. We recognize that he is the first head of state in the history of Zambia, not only to grant a physical audience to ordinary drivers, but to also elevate our issues to the highest office in the land through the creation of a specialized driver's desk at the State House. This unprecedented gesture confirms that the president is a leader who walks the talk regarding welfare of the people who move our economy. We applaud the president for spearheading the initiative to form a technical working group to tackle these matters. And this technical group, which was created when we met him in Ndola last year, comprises of sector-based unions and also the transporters or our employers. We recognize this as a landmark development that seeks to bring dignity and order in our profession. It is a fulfillment of the promises made to us, and we stand fully behind this vision of inclusive economic growth. As key stakeholders in the sector, we wish to highlight that there is already a full operational technical working group in place, like I earlier alluded to. This committee was constituted by the director of His Excellency, President Hakainde Hichilema, to levy Mwanawasa Stadium on the 11th of April in the year 2024 in Ndola, currently operating under the direct supervision and mandate of the Ministry of Transport and Logistics. In light of the President's statement regarding the technical committee made up of select group, we are baffled as to why we were not engaged. The current committee represents the collective voice of the drivers through their established unions. Utilizing this group ensures that the driver's desk engages with the democratically selected representatives of the sector. Our committee working with the ministry has already gathered significant data and formulated strategies. Integrating us will save time and ensure the President is briefed on the ground realities immediately without starting from scratch. To ensure efficiency,
People's Alliance for Change PAC President Andy Ford Maele Bandas challenged the UPND government to cancel Bill 7, arguing that the proposed amendments lack broad national consensus and has sidelined the majority of Zambians. Mr. Bandas says the legislative process should be halted immediately and only reconsidered after the 2026 general elections to allow for wider consultation. He made the remarks in an interview with Muvi TV News on the sidelines of the OASIS Forum Prayer rally held at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus in Lusaka on Friday morning.
Would like to just appeal to the President to make sure that he reflects on this process, and actually reverses it so that, this can be done after the 2026 elections. The next thing is that there has to be consensus. There has to be a buy-in from the people. The people must buy into, the constitutional amendments. The checking committee must be, built on, must be selected out of consensus from the stakeholders. The terms of reference must be created out of consensus from the stakeholders. So it's a very unfortunate situation, because this situation is creating tension in the country, unnecessary tension. We should be focusing on development. So very unfortunate, and we hope that sometime soon the executive can withdraw this proposal and suspend it until the August 2026 elections. It should end into suspending the process. That's the dialogue. I don't think that we, the people, are ready to actually compromise, on this process, because there's no time. The process, like I mentioned earlier, was not driven, so there's no time to actually, discuss these things. So we hope that, it will end into the suspension, and and then we move like that for 2026. There's no necessity to create this unnecessary tension in the country over something that the majority of the country do not agree to.
Former Chipata Central Member of Parliament Moses Mawere has launched a new political party with Exodus for Peace and Prosperity EPP marking its return to the political scene after leaving the Patriotic Front. The announcement was made during a courtesy call on Paramount Chief Mpezeni at Ependukeni Palace in Chipata, where Mr. Mawere says his renowned ambition to contribute to national governance and motivated the formation of the party. Mr. Mawere, who served as Minister of Sport, Youth and Child Development from 2016 to 2019, noted that the EPP's full agenda and policies will be unveiled in due course. Meanwhile, Paramount Chief Mpezeni has advised the new party leader to champion peace and stay away from violence as he embarks on his political journey.
Paramount Chief has welcomed the Exodus Party in the province, and I can assure you that the party has come to stay, and it has started settling down, and it has settled, one information. So I'm even inviting those that are willing to join, those who have ideas who can come and contribute to the growth of this party, to come forward and to join us. Of course, the president has emphasized on the peace issue. We want people with good ideas and not with violent ideas. Kosi Yamakosi has emphasized on the peace, and we are just going to do that. We don't want violence. Violence doesn't bring anything in this country. What it brings is suffering. There is nowhere in the country where you have heard that violence has contributed to the GDP
Nothing like that. Well, what it does, it destroys everything. So the issue of violence, indeed, this party will never tolerate. What we shall tolerate is people with good ideas, people with a peaceful mind, and to see how best we can develop this province. Indeed, we are even extending this to other provinces, that we should maintain our peace that we have been enjoying for so many years. And my humble appeal again is that those who want to join, they are free to come and join. We are not going to segregate who is this one, who is this one. No. All what they should just know is that with this party, we are going to emphasize on discipline and peaceful issues.
So chikulenera kufana kuti muzisora chipa kapana matora viwanja mwamba kukwavurana still mkhondo uliye mulanga kufuna nkhondo muzofutina nkhondo muziko ngalo nkhondo sindoti nkhondo ikasate mwemwika mawe isati aliyense mbauti tikotava kamba kapitu pachembechapo setakere tinonkhazike kudala sendise mafumu tinonkhazike kudala manje mwe vandale mwaungo kapana wai kukapana ngama usona basa kapana so chabwino so bwino ndale zana vantu ndataka kusankhuleni ine nengukulonderani mose mwe wangu werani palioti mpirikisa mose mwana wangu koma mkwankosonera bwino ndale kuchipa tufuna lini nkhondo tufuna kufuna nopitizani takulandira ndama akatatata lokwati.
The ruling UPND expelled more than 150 youths from Livingston, Kitwe and Mpika over a series of violent and criminal activities carried out while masquerading as party representatives. Party Secretary General Batuke Menda says the expulsions are aimed at safeguarding the integrity and discipline of the UPND, warning that no individual be shielded from the law for engaging in thuggery under the guise of party affiliation. Mr. Emenda told journalists in Lusaka that expelled groups were involved in acts ranging from disrupting ECZ voter registration in Livingston to brand shaming firearms on the Copper Belt and vandalizing hospital infrastructure in Mpika, behavior he described as unacceptable and contrary to the values on which the UPND was founded.
Press conference. We have a boy who is known as Mutuna Chifunda. We have a boy called Kennedy Musonda, who is reported to be seen to be brandishing a gun, threatening someone for not having said things that he did not like to hear. This Kennedy Musonda is known as King Lion. And everyone in Kitwe is scared stiff to face that King Lion. Today, we are going to deal with King Lion. Yes. The Zambian people must walk freely in this country. We are going to deal with those issues. In Livingston, I haven't mentioned names because I'm told the youth who had even gone to the extent of threatening the police in the police station in Livingston were close to about 150. So our district and the constituency are busy compiling the list of those members who claim to be our members. So either today or tomorrow, we'll communicate to them strongly. 28th of November, 2025, all the cadres that I've cited in these 3 instances who were involved in yesterday's skirmishes are all dismissed from the party. We have dismissed them forthwith, and they will make sure that they should not be involved in any party activity at any time. We should not allow them to use our party regalia to mistreat Zambian people. We will not allow them to use the name of the party merely because the party is ruling and that the people that made that government are inferior to them. We are saying no, no, no.
Yes. And therefore,
Reverend Father Ignatius Chama of Mansa has warned that Zambia is becoming increasingly divided over the constitution-making process, cautioning that democracy and the rule of law are slowly eroding. Meanwhile, National Gender Organization Coordination Council, Angel CC Chairperson and OASIS Forum leader Beauty Katebe emphasized that the constitution should be considered from a broad national perspective rather than solely through the lens of political parties, as it will impact future generations. Law Association of Zambia President Lungisani Zulu added that meaningful stakeholder engagement is critical for the constitutional process to gain public approval and legitimacy.
Deep inside ourselves, we are saying we are slowly moving our way from that unity and oneness as a nation and replacing it with division and anger. The good story we are supposed to tell to the next generation is slowly becoming as a whole to you for our failure to act in the way that unifies us as a nation. We have become a divided nation over matters that should unite us, for they are concerned with who we are and what we want to be ruled by as a nation. Is it to throw stones at each other? Is it to cut each other's throats and in pieces? Is it to burn cars, loot and destroy properties? Is it to drive a wedge between tribes? Is it to continue in the path that we know is bringing divisions and acrimony?
We want to pray that we need to look at whether the people of Zambia have agreed to the amendments that we are going to make to the document. And if not, because we are going there with open minds and we expect to find the president and his team with open minds, we should agree on what we should give to ourselves as the people of Zambia. I will not take too much time standing here because my duty was just to welcome all of you. But we should understand and know that whatever it is that we are doing today, those of us that are living, those of us that have the opportunity to look at this document, we are doing it not for ourselves, but for our grandchildren and their children and their children. It is the only reason why, when we look at this document, we should detach politics from it. Because not every citizen in Zambia is a politician. We should, by all means, detach politics from this document.
Let us also be expectant
for blessings of good governance, of good leadership, of integrity in governance of our.
In a bid to combat constitutional corruption, the University Teaching Hospital High Clinic has launched institutional integrity guidelines for its employees. The initiative is aimed at ensuring that patients receive health services without having to pay bribes. Speaking at the launch, Lusaka District Health Office Director Mudianga Nachonga reaffirmed the government's commitment to eliminating corruption and restoring order in health facilities. Anti-Corruption Commission Director General Dolphin Kabu emphasized that corruption undermines service delivery and held the high clinic's guidelines as a clear demonstration of the institution's dedication to fighting corruption.
And therefore, at this point, allow me to commend and recognize the efforts of the senior medical superintendent, the senior management, the integrity committee, and the staff of UTHI Hospital for being proactive in developing and successfully launching these institutional guidelines today. To the members of staff, I want to urge you all to familiarize yourselves with these guidelines and use them as a reference point in your work. Of Health through the UTHI Hospital is pledging to uphold high levels of integrity and promote zero tolerance to corruption. The hospital endeavors to make implementation of these guidelines a living process with established systems of monitoring, evaluation, and dissemination of information. I would like to end by reiterating the ministry's commitment in preventing corruption and maintaining an ethical work environment that promotes integrity and accountability in the delivery of health services to the people of Zambia, and we are determined to work towards a corruption-free and a more prosperous Zambia.
Report issues confidently, knowing that the ACC is here to collaborate on investigations as well as prosecutions. To our partners and the public, integrity is a shared duty. Let us all maintain vigilance in the health sector, where lives depend on trust and efficiency. In closing, distinguished guests, as we officially launch these guidelines today, let this event be a catalyst for a corruption-free health sector in our beloved nation. The ACC.
Before we take a break, a look at the top stories making headlines once again. OASIS Forum meets President HH, insists Bill 7 to be withdrawn, and TASILA LUNGU loses CHAWAMA parliamentary seat. 4 arrested in connection with gruesome KALOMO murder. UPND expels over 150 youths for thuggery and misconduct. On that item, a look at a set of commercials. Stay tuned.
Are you a parent looking for a school with values-driven ethos and a firm belief in an all-encompassing Christian education for your child? Then look no further. At Gospel Outreach Christian Academy, we make the educational experience of your child as rewarding as possible, offering an excellent reading program that gets our reception children reading within 6 weeks, and examination practice packages tailored to prepare our learners sufficiently for final exams, helping your child make the passing choice to holistic education. A school that believes in helping struggling students get up to speed, providing for the mind, body, and soul. Enroll your child in any of the grades from baby class to grade 12 and enjoy flexible payment plans with up to 5% discounts for payments made during school holidays. For information, call 0979 404809. Gospel Outreach Christian Academy. Excellence through Christian education. Scan the QR code to apply.
Your future can't wait. Why delay your dreams when you can fast-track your success at Curso University? March 10th, 2025. Mark your calendar. Enroll in the following faculties: Faculty of Nursing, Faculty of Health Sciences, Faculty of Humanities, Business and Education, Department of Postgraduate Studies. For a limited time, get a 20% off discount on your first semester, making education more affordable. Plus, we offer a very flexible payment plan, 50% upfront to start, the rest to be paid in manageable monthly installments. Study full-time, distance, and online, making it perfect for in-service workers and international students too. Don't miss out. Call us now and secure your place. Curso University, meeting the educational needs of today.
2 days left. Visit the ECZ registration centers nationwide. Before time runs out, be counted. Register now. To find open registration centers, check on the Commission's website. Follow the link ovr.elections.org.zm/deployment-plan or dial short code *214# on mobile phones or visit any district registration centers or civic centers across the country. Register now. It's your right. It's your choice. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Only 2 days.
And now a look at sports news. Kansanshi Dynamos return to action tomorrow at Independence Stadium, where they will host FC Muza in their first fixture under newly appointed head coach Mohamed Feiti and his assistant Dennis Makinka. The Mubanga boys have had a brief but focused preparation period as the new technician bench begins shaping their team's tactical approach. Kansanshi Dynamos head into the clash aiming to recover from a 2-0 loss to Power Dynamos, while some support is expected to boost their confidence. FC Muza, coming off a resounding 5-1 victory, arrived in Solwezi full of momentum on the log. Kansanshi side 16th on 9 points, with Muza firmly placed in third on 21 points. Speaking ahead of the encounter, assistant coach Dennis Makinka says he is confident and the squad is ready to put in a strong performance.
Obviously, first games are always important. It's a great feeling, just being a part of this wonderful family, Kansanshi, and just looking forward to having a good performance, especially being our first game in charge. We've been working so much on defensive organization and also finishing. As you know, most times the team has been scoring but also conceding. So we've been working on how, just how to stop the bleeding, how to stop the goals, and just also to improve on the scoring, because the team has been scoring just goals, maybe one goal per game. We are trying to improve on the scoring. So if we can score more than one, we see where it obviously the is just to be quick on the ball and also just score. We expect a good performance, and our approach is something that I cannot say on an interview like this.
Item brings us to the end of the menus, and now a look at the top stories making headlines once again. OASIS Forum meets President HH insists Bill 7 be withdrawn, and TASILA LUNGU loses CHAWAMA parliamentary seats. 4 arrested in connection with gruesome KALOMO murder, and UPND expels over 150 youths for thuggery and misconduct. On that item, we come to the end of the menus. I've been your host, Tracy Mansa. Stay tuned.